Many entrepreneurs will face a crisis of some kind in their business career, and you should prepare yourself to be able to handle emergency situations. Those situations might be cash flow problems, legal problems, maybe a big competitor swooping in, maybe something is happening with your product line that it's no longer as sellable as it was. Maybe you don't have the people that you need to effectively market into your marketplace. So it's important to think about what would you do in those circumstances? How would you handle it? What would you do if you had an emergency situation that you had to handle as an entrepreneur? There are a couple of things that are very important. In fact, there are three things that are very important that you should have. The first is you want to have a great team that you can call on. When you have a great team, it's a lot easier to figure out how to handle a crisis situation. You can sit around, you can look at the issues, you can get input from various participants, and you can think about what's the best way of handling this. And you can divide the tasks, and that way it's a lot easier to tackle the problem. The other thing you want to have is great business relationships. If you have great business relationships out there, external relationships from your organization, you will be in a much better position to respond to a crisis situation. You can pick up the phone and you can call someone who can connect you with the right legal help or the right firm that can handle something for you. Maybe you can have someone who can give you some advice because the person has experience. Maybe the person can help you by becoming a customer of yours. Sometimes an entrepreneur simply needs a few more customers to get through a difficult period. So having good business relationships is crucial, and you should be thinking about that long before you have a crisis that surfaces. The third thing that you need that can be very valuable is money, and that is having enough money in the bank, having enough money available to you that you can solve a problem, you can write a check, you can deal with something as a problem surfaces. When you have a crisis as an entrepreneur, you're very vulnerable because when you work for a big company, you have tremendous resources that you can call on. Sometimes a reputation or goodwill, you have lots of things that you can call on. But as an entrepreneur, you can be very, very close to being in a position where you might be able to see failure. You might be able to see something, turn into a disaster or something you don't want to have happen. And so you've got to think about these things beforehand. And if you don't think about them beforehand, you can find yourself on the phone trying to connect with people, and you know what those people are going to say? Hey, I hope it works out for you. The best of luck to you. You want to get these things lined up before you're in crisis mode so that if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're in trouble, you have those three things. Remember, you've got to have a great team. You've got to have great business relationships, and it helps to have some money put aside to help you in those difficult situations. You'll be able to bounce back from that crisis if you face one.